when observed, becomes caution. Do not let emotions dominate your life. Instead, let them inform your decisions. Listen to them, then choose your response consciously. One of the greatest signs of emotional intelligence is the ability to pause. Not everything requires a reaction. Not every opinion must be expressed. Silence is powerful. A person who can pause before speaking, who can hold back their impulse to defend or attack, is a person who has found mastery. They are not controlled by others, they are guided from within. You will notice that emotionally intelligent people do not blame. They do not say, "You made me angry." Instead, they say, "I noticed anger arising in me when this happened." That is ownership. That is maturity. When you stop blaming others for your emotional state, you reclaim your power. You must also reflect. After a challenging moment, ask yourself, what was I feeling? Why did I react that way? What can I learn from this? This simple habit of reflection turns every experience, pleasant or painful, into a step toward mastery. Emotional intelligence is not developed overnight. It is cultivated through practice like a muscle, and the world will give you many opportunities. Every conflict, every misunderstanding, every frustration is a mirror. Life is not trying to hurt you, it is trying to wake you up. In the end, your emotions are not your enemy, they are messengers. They tell you what matters. They point to your wounds, your fears, your values. Welcome them, but do not obey them blindly. Let them speak, but do not let them drive. You are the master, the one behind the thoughts, the one behind the emotions, the stillness in the storm. When you develop emotional intelligence, you don't just become wiser, you become lighter. You no longer carry the burden of reactivity. You move through life with grace. And in that grace, you find peace. The kind of peace that no school could ever teach. The kind of peace that only comes from knowing yourself. Number 2, discipline over motivation. The silent force that shapes your destiny. There are days when you feel inspired, when the path is clear and your spirit is on fire. But there are also days when that fire disappears and the path becomes foggy. On such days, motivation vanishes like the morning mist. This is the nature of motivation. It is emotional, fleeting, unpredictable. To rely on motivation alone is to build your life on shifting sand. Discipline, however, is different. Discipline is not emotional. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It does not care whether you are tired, bored, or uninspired. Discipline simply asks, will you do what needs to be done? It is the silent force that moves mountains, one stone at a time. It is the invisible thread that turns dreams into reality. School taught you to chase grades, rewards, and approval. You were motivated by outcomes, not by effort. But life operates differently. In life, no one claps when you wake up early. No one gives you a gold star for showing up when it's hard. There are no applause, no certificates, only results. And those results come from discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the feeling in which you said it has faded. Anyone can commit to a goal when they are excited. But when fatigue arrives, when boredom knocks, when obstacles appear, most people quit. Discipline is what remains when all else falls away. Let me give you a simple truth. You will not always feel like it. And that is okay. Your mind will say, just rest today. Your body will whisper, we can try tomorrow. But the path of mastery does not bow to feelings. The path of mastery bows to action. Consistent, deliberate, unshakable action. You see, motivation is external. It comes from videos, speeches, quotes, praise, but discipline is internal. It is born in solitude. It is forged in silence. No one sees you at 5 a.m. tying your shoes. No one sees the hours you spend practicing, studying, refining. That is why discipline is sacred. It is between you and your purpose. Every time you follow discipline, you strengthen your character. You build trust with yourself. And trust in yourself is the foundation of confidence. When you say, I will train, and you train. When you say, I will not quit, and you do not quit, you're teaching your mind that your word means something, that you can be relied upon, that your spirit cannot be broken. Discipline is not loud. It does not shout. It does not announce itself. It shows up quietly every day. It is brushing your teeth. It is meditating when your thoughts are restless. It is reading when the phone calls you. It is taking the stairs when the elevator is easier. These small decisions, repeated consistently, shape your destiny more than any one big event. Do not wait to feel ready. The mind will always find a reason to delay. Begin. Start with one small act. Show up for 5 minutes, one breath, one page, one step, and you will discover something magical. Action creates momentum, momentum breeds motivation, and motivation returns not as a requirement, but as a byproduct of your discipline. Discipline also frees you. It removes the chaos of choice. When you live by discipline, you don't ask, should I do it today? You simply do it, like brushing your teeth, like eating. It becomes part of your identity. You are no longer a person who works hard. You are a hard-working person. You are no longer a person who trains. You are a disciplined warrior. Of course, discipline requires sacrifice. You will need to say no to comfort, no to distraction, no to the easy path. But what you gain is far greater: strength, clarity, direction. When others fall, you will stand. When others hesitate, you will act. When others quit, you will continue. This is the quiet power of discipline. There is a saying, suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. One pain leads to growth, the other to disappointment. Choose wisely. In the end, know this: motivation may get you started, but only discipline will keep you going. And it is not the occasional burst of effort that changes your life. It is the daily, disciplined commitment to your higher self. You do not need to feel like a warrior, to train like one. You simply need to act. So begin today. Not because you are inspired, but because you are committed. Not because it is easy, but because it is right. Discipline is the path. And once you walk it long enough, it becomes who you are. Number 3, resilience in uncertainty, becoming the calm within the chaos. There will be times when the road ahead is unclear, when life does not go according to your plans. You will face rejection, failure, loss, and unexpected changes you never saw coming. In those moments, people often ask, why me? And wait for the storm to pass. But those who are resilient do not wait for life to return to comfort. They learn to stand in the middle of the storm without losing their balance. Resilience is not about escaping difficulty. It is about enduring it with strength. It is not resistance, nor is it avoidance. It is graceful adaptation. To be resilient is to bend but never break. Resilience is not something you're born with. It is something you build. Every setback, every disappointment, every painful lesson is training. Life tests you, not to punish you, but to prepare you for something greater. If you avoid hardship, you avoid growth. If you embrace it, you evolve. A strong tree does not grow in soft soil. It roots deeper during storms. Likewise, your strength is revealed when everything around you falls apart. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Resilience is smiling when it's not. That smile is not denial. It is inner power. In times of uncertainty, fear naturally arises. The unknown feels dangerous. But fear is not the enemy. It is an invitation to grow past your edges. When the path is unclear, you must become still inside. Observe your fear, your doubt, your anxiety, like clouds passing in the sky. Let them come, let them go, but do not follow them blindly. Resilience is not about never feeling fear. It is about walking forward anyway. You do not need to eliminate fear to move forward. You only need to stop allowing it to control your steps. People who lack resilience often collapse under pressure. They blame, they complain, but the resilient individual takes responsibility, even in chaos. They ask not, why is this happening to me, but what is this teaching me? They see each challenge as a teacher, not a curse. Resilience shifts your focus from what I lost to what I'm learning. It transforms breakdowns into breakthroughs and failure into fuel. This is why resilient people are often the wisest, not because they avoided pain, but because they allowed pain to refine them, not define them. One of the most powerful tools in building resilience is daily self-discipline. Wake up early, move your body, train your breath, sharpen your mind. Do these things not just for health, but for mental strength. Because resilience is built in routine long before crisis ever arrives. You must practice inner stability in peaceful times, so it is available in storms. Like a warrior who sharpens his blade daily, even when there is no war. Your habits prepare you for the days when nothing goes as planned. And on those days, your discipline will carry you when your motivation cannot. Equally important is your relationship with failure. Do not fear it, befriend it. Failure does not mean you are weak. It means you are trying. Resilient people do not see failure as the end, but a redirection. Each time you fall and rise again, your spirit grows stronger. Your wounds become wisdom. Your scars become stories of strength. The path of resilience is filled with stumbles, but never surrender. You learn to trust the process even when the outcome is unknown. And in that trust, you discover peace within uncertainty. You must also learn to protect your energy. Not everyone deserves your attention. Surround yourself with those who lift you, not drain you. Resilience is not just pushing through, it is also knowing when to rest. It's knowing when to step back, to recover, not to quit. Stillness is not weakness, it is wisdom. The calm restores the warrior. When your body is tired, rest. When your mind is overwhelmed, breathe. Sustainability is part of resilience. Burnout is not strength. True strength knows its limits and honors them. In the end, resilience is your inner anchor. It keeps you grounded in any storm. You may lose people, money, opportunities, and control, but do not lose yourself. You are not what happens to you. You are how you rise afterward. No school taught this, no textbook can explain it. Because resilience is not knowledge, it is lived experience. It is forged in silence, in sweat, in tears, and in stillness. The world may remain uncertain, but you can remain unwavering. Not by avoiding difficulty, but by becoming unshakable within it. Number 4. Effective communication, the art of speaking with presence and listening with power. In this world, everyone speaks, but very few truly communicate. Most people talk only to respond, not to understand, and that is where disconnection begins. True communication does not come from the mouth, it begins in stillness, from a deep presence within. To communicate well, you must first learn to listen with your whole being, not just your ears. When you truly listen, without judgment or preparation to reply, people feel seen and safe. They open up, not because of your words, but because of your presence. Your silence can be more powerful than another's loudest voice, if it is rooted in deep awareness. This is why monks speak rarely. Because words mean little without the energy of understanding behind them. Most people believe that communication is about how well you speak, how loud your words sound. But real communication is not about performing, it is about connecting. And connection only happens through sincerity. Your tone, your body language, your eyes, your energy, they all speak louder than words ever will. If your words say I care but your presence feels distracted, the message will never be received. To communicate effectively, align your words with your state of being. Mean what you say. Say only what you mean. Speak less, but with more truth and intention, and others will begin to listen with their hearts. The power of words is immense. They can heal, they can hurt, they can awaken, they can destroy. That is why a wise person treats speech as sacred, like handling fire with bare hands. Once a word leaves your mouth, it cannot be taken back, and its echo may last a lifetime. Before speaking, pause and ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If your words do not pass through these 3 gates, let them stay within. When emotions rise, silence is better than regret. Communication is not a battlefield to win with arguments. It is a bridge to build mutual understanding and peace. You must also master the art of receiving words without becoming reactive. When someone criticizes you, disagrees with you, or speaks harshly, do not instantly strike back. A mind that reacts is a mind that is still enslaved by ego. Instead, breathe deeply, observe the reaction within you, and respond with intention, not impulse. Often, what people say reveals more about their inner world than yours. If you respond with awareness rather than emotion, you disarm conflict and protect your own peace. This is how communication becomes a spiritual practice, a path to wisdom, not war. A great communicator is also a translator, not of languages but of emotion and intent. They hear what is not said. They feel the silence between the words. When someone is angry, they recognize the pain behind it. When someone withdraws, they sense the fear hiding beneath. This level of understanding requires compassion, not judgment. Do not assume. Do not label. Ask. Clarify. Hold space. When you speak to what someone is truly experiencing, not just their words, you build a connection that goes beyond logic and touches the soul. You cannot communicate effectively if you do not know yourself. When your mind is noisy, your speech will be unclear. When you are disconnected from your emotions, your words will confuse others. Therefore, cultivate self-awareness first. Spend time in solitude. Journal your thoughts. Reflect on your intentions. Learn to speak to yourself with honesty and gentleness, because the way you speak to others is often a mirror of the way you speak within. Heal your inner voice, and your outer voice will carry peace instead of projection. Effective communication is not about being right. It's about being real. You may win an argument and lose the person. You may prove your point and damage the bond. Choose connection over control. Choose curiosity over criticism. Choose truth over ego. If someone misunderstands you, do not try to force clarity. Ask yourself whether your energy was clear. If someone is closed off, do not raise your voice. Lower your resistance. Be the one who brings light to dark conversations, not more fire to the flames. This is how you lead with wisdom, not just words. In the end, communication is not a technique. It is a reflection of your inner state. The more peace you carry within, the more peace your words will carry outward. The calmer your breath, the more calm in your presence. Every conversation is an opportunity, not to impress but to uplift. Not to defend but to understand. Speak like a monk, slow, clear, grounded, intentional. Listen like a healer, with depth, with silence, with care. In doing so, you will find that the world does not need louder voices. It needs deeper ones, like yours, when you speak from your highest self. Number 5, financial intelligence. learning to master energy, not just money. Money is not just paper. It is energy, and energy must flow with awareness, or it becomes destructive. Schools taught you how to earn grades, not how to earn or manage money which you use every single day. They never taught you how to make decisions based on value instead of emotion, nor how to resist impulse. As a result, most people live in quiet financial fear, working hard but still drowning in uncertainty and debt. Financial intelligence begins with one shift in mindset. Money is not your master, it is your servant and tool. If you do not control money, money will control you through stress, distraction, fear, and even relationships. You must learn to see clearly. Money is not evil, and poverty is not spiritual. Wisdom is what makes both noble. The way you treat your money reflects the way you treat your mind. Order, clarity, discipline, or chaos. The first lesson in financial intelligence is to know exactly where your money goes, without emotion or denial. Every dollar you earn is a result of your life energy exchanged, so treat it with reverence, not carelessness. Track your spending not to feel guilt, but to feel awareness, because awareness is the foundation of change. What you do not measure, you cannot master. This applies not only to health and time, but to wealth as well. Look at your habits. Do you spend to fill a void, impress others, or escape your present discomfort? You must ask yourself, is this purchase aligned with who I want to become? Let that question guide you. A wise person is not cheap. They are intentional. They spend with clarity, not craving, and never for validation. Clarity leads to control, and control over finances gives you freedom to live with purpose, not pressure. Next comes the discipline of saving, not just for emergencies, but for opportunities, growth, and peace of mind. Saving is not about fear, it's about foresight. It's not hoarding. It's choosing future strength over present ease. Even a small amount saved regularly rewires your brain away from survival towards security and stability. It teaches patience, which is the foundation of wealth, because true wealth is not quick, it is built slowly. Let go of the idea that you need more money. You need more wisdom about the money you already have. You can earn more, but without wisdom, you will spend more. This is why many remain broke, regardless of income. The discipline to save a portion of every earning, no matter how small, is a sacred act of self-respect. It's saying, I trust my future enough to prepare for it. That trust changes your financial destiny forever. Then comes the power of investing, of letting your money work for you instead of working forever for it. Investment is not gambling, it is not emotional, it is quiet, long-term, patient, and always grounded in study. Before you invest in markets, invest in your mind. Read, learn, ask, and understand how value is created. Assets are things that grow in value or generate income. Liabilities take value from you. Know the difference. If you buy things to look rich, you stay poor. If you buy assets that build value, you buy your freedom. Don't rush. Don't follow noise. Wealth built quickly fades quickly. Slow, wise, consistent action wins every time. The goal is not to be rich only in numbers. It is to be free from financial fear forever and fully. And that freedom only comes when your money grows without stealing your peace, sleep, or soul. Also understand that generosity is part of financial intelligence. What you give comes back multiplied. Give not to be praised, but to be aligned with abundance, knowing you already have more than enough. But give wisely, don't enable others' laziness or sacrifice your own future in the name of false virtue. Support those who grow, who try, who struggle with dignity, not those who waste without reflection. Financial intelligence includes boundaries. Sometimes the most generous act is to say, I cannot give that. When you give with wisdom, money becomes a force of healing, not pride, guilt, or manipulation. Money that flows with awareness blesses both the giver and the receiver. It elevates energy, not ego. Remember, you are not the owner of wealth. You are its guardian. Use it with balance and it multiplies. In the end, financial intelligence is not taught in schools because it requires deep self-awareness. It's not about spreadsheets. It's about your habits, fears, beliefs, and level of discipline and clarity. A wise monk may own little, but live in total freedom. A rich man may own much, but live in fear of losing. Wealth is not how much you have, but how little